Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Happy 2024. How are you? And welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in the lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, and it's always a great part of my week to bring this show to everyone in our audience. Once again, I want to wish everyone a glorious 2024, man. We're starting a new year, and I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, and ready to take the year 2024 by storm. I want to introduce to our audience the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. LarryWBrooks. How you doing?
Good, I'm good, Rick, man. No complaints, man. Welcome to the new year. You know,
I was hoping I was going to get you to wear your 2024 little glasses with the 2024 on there, man, like boys have on New Year's Eve. But I know we about 3-4 days from New Year's Eve, so I don't know where them glasses are, man. But it's good to be here with you, man. How was your New Year's, man, and how is the 2024 treating you so far, bro?
Things was good, man. I kind of just enjoy life a little bit, man. Just kind of ducked off, kept to myself a little bit when it came to New Year's Eve. 2024. It's funny. I was just saying, before we got started here with the guests that we have, I was getting started in the first quarter of the year. I'm always tired. I don't know if it's because I do a horrible job in the fourth quarter of the year trying to get prepared for the new year, and I don't get a chance to take a break and take a deep breath. But I'm a little tired right now, and so I think that or maybe it's just the pressures of making sure you do get that first quarter of the year knocked out the ballpark and started. But I'm excited about it. Taking the right steps. One thing about an entrepreneurship, and depending on what your role is in your business, it's getting them W-9s out and things like that that's taking place right now with me, man. So that's time consuming. That's a little tiring, numbers all day and all night that first week. So that's what it is.
Well, everybody in the audience was curious to see how you were able to work through the drama that you was dealing with last week when we chopped it up when the show came in, as far as getting all the passport stuff taken care of and all that good stuff. So for the members of our audience who was tapped in with us last week, were you able to get all that stuff squared away, man? Because so many people have gone through the drama of having to deal with a lost passport and trying to get those things together that I just had to ask you, brother. So how did that go?
I did, man. I did get it. It did get it worked out. I think the first part of it is because it's so intimidating. You don't know what you don't know. So when you show up, you just intimidated by the environment. You're intimidated about what you don't know if you need, what you didn't expect, if you're going to have to start the 2-hour process all the way over of everything. But I was blessed enough to get in. And when I got in, I bumped into some kind people that were able to say, hey, you know what, just take a deep breath. We understand that this is something that's last minute and you don't know what, this is unexpected. So I thank them in the training that they had, that the people that they had on staff was able to calm you down, help you relax, and let you know that it's not as intimidating as it may seem through, reading something online. we live in a society nowadays, you can't pick up the phone and call nobody. So you reading all of these things and you getting text messages and auto messages, but none of it makes sense to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the society done changed. Instead of having a kind voice on the phone saying, hey, it'll be okay. You know what I mean? So I just commend them on the people that actually work, that are physical people that you come in contact with making sure that the situation is de-escalated and you're calm. So it went smooth. I got that passport. Yeah.
I'm glad they were able to help you out, man, because you should have let them know, man, we got too much going on.
Yeah.
It's January, the 15th anniversary of Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. That celebration is coming up, man. So what's going on as far as the lead up to that, the planning, the execution? Is that what's also keeping us in a position where it's almost like, man, I know this is a new year, but we got so much going right now, man, that we got to just keep pushing forward from that perspective.
Yeah, man. Nah, we definitely excited about that, man, and getting everything lined up for it to be a big event. That's what I was just meeting with Rashid, man, right time photography that people might, right now he's the big in the industry, so everybody know our guys, but that's one of the things that he and I was talking about, man, just a way of maybe making me look like somewhat of a real estate guru around here for that holiday, man. And so
big huge shout out, man, because Rashid Tillis, man, not only is he a friend of the show, but he's also a Prime Real Estate Network alumni. Big huge shout out, man. He done shot some photos for me, man, worked some of my events, man. The gentleman is outstanding. Him and his entire crew, man. I want to commend them on their professionalism, man. So I look forward to working with them again, man. I'm excited to have them down with Brooks and Davis for this monumental event.
Good guy, man. Definitely. Yeah.
Now, this is our first show of 2024.
That's right.
And not only am I super excited about the guests we have lined up this week, but I feel like this is going to be one of the most important episodes of the show we have all year, because this is going to be the Prime Real Estate Network 2024 Home Buyers Guide.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of potential homeowners that were patient in 2023, waiting for that great opportunity, waiting for interest rates to come down, waiting for just that perfect property. And I feel as if we have a foremost home buying expert on with us to talk about some of those opportunities that are in the city of Houston, as well as the surrounding Harris County. So just like we do every week, Larry, could you share with our audience a little bit about your relationship with this week's guest and how you were able to get her commitment to sit in with us this week?
Definitely, man. So I met this week's guest actually in 2023, the year just passed. We were at a real estate event, and at this real estate event, we actually had an opportunity to sit down and just had some roundtable conversation. And I was just so intrigued with the way that she was able to handle her business, the growth of her business, the professionalism behind her business. And I was like, hey, I've got to get you on this podcast. At that time, we were kind of revved up and pretty much booked up into this date, into the opportunity to get her on, man. So I'm excited. She is definitely the person that we wanted to be our number one guest going into this year. She's going to be the one that's going to give these people, give our buyers, give our past clients some great information and an opportunity to know what to expect going into this season of buying and selling in real estate, man. So I'm excited to have her on here. I thank her so much just for making that time, like you say, carving out that time to be a part of what we have going on here.
Oh, man, thank you so much, Larry. And without any further ado, I'll introduce this week's guest. She is not only a home buying expert, she is also one of the most successful realtors in the city of Houston. I want to thank her so much for sitting in with us. And I'd like to introduce this week's guest, Miss Maia Booker. How are you?
Good afternoon, guys, and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for tapping in with us, Miss Booker, live from the field, out here making it happen. So first things first, can you just introduce not only yourself to our audience, but let them know what it is that you're scouting out, what type of business you're pursuing today, and why is it that you carved out some time to sit in with us right now from your car, because I know how busy you are on a Thursday. So thank you, Ms. Booker, for sitting in.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity for allowing me to kick off this great show. First guest of the new year. Great things, amazing things are coming, not only for myself, Brooks and Davis, and the rest of our home buyers in Houston and the surrounding areas. I'm out here looking for home buyers. I'm looking for home buyers who have said, you know what, the interest rates are too high. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. Now, I need you to have the credit to some extent, but we can work on that.
No,
But the
no
money
doubt.
is not an issue. The money is not an issue. As long as you are in the range, and the city of Houston, Harris County, Fort Bend County, all of the surrounding counties have gotten together and they said, you know what, we're not going to exclude everyone who can't afford to do it. Everyone can afford 30,000 down, 40,000 down, 25. Some people can't even afford 8,000, right? So they've come together. They've recognized the problem and they have come with an answer. And not only have they come with the answer for the buyer, they've come for an answer with developers. So they've come together and they said, hey, if you're a developer, coordinate with us, merge with us, build some affordable housing in the city, in Hockley, in Rocheron, Richmond, Baytown, Liberty County, whatever it is. I need you to build this amount and we're going to sell it for this low cost. So these brand new homes that have the same incentives, the same amenities, same quartz countertops with the deep veins, recessed lighting, ring doorbells, Bluetooth technology, that the builders.
Real estate professional with all the good old sale words. I like it. Tell them about the house. I know that's right.
And not just Hardy Plank. The same thing that Lennar offers, or Meritage, Coventry. We're going to do this in these areas, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in a lower economic area or the hood or anything like that. It just means that it's affordable, right? And it's accessible. So these are the buyers that I'm out on a Thursday looking for. I'm going to meet with 2 later on this afternoon, and we're going to develop our game plan. And it's really not a hard process either. I was actually surprised at how short the process is. I think it's a little bit better than just a regular home buying. So yes, that's why I'm out on this Thursday looking for buyers.
And you know, one of the things again that you said that sounded that I think a lot of people miss, because I think when people hear the word affordable, they automatically want to think negativity, think hood, think regentrification, all of that. And at the end of the day, affordability is based on the community. It does not. Right. You could be in a community where everyone makes $100,000, and you can be in a community where everyone makes $200,000 a year. Well, affordability would be that person that's making $110,000 a year. Like, affordability does not mean you only making no monies or 20 grand. Like, it really is based on that particular community and what those wages look like. There's affordable housing in River Oaks in Houston, right? Like, so when you say affordability, we as real estate professionals, we know that, but sometimes our clients that, you know, may be making good money, they may think that they not in that range of affordability, but you may be.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, I want to talk to you, Ms. Booker, about the opportunities that are afforded to those who are willing to pursue home ownership in 2024. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who was patient in 2023, that was saving up for a down payment, that was going through some credit restoration, that were paying down some bills. And as of January the 1st, they made the decision 2024 is going to be my year. What is it that you found in and around Harris County that has helped those potential home buyers bridge the gap from what they earn to the quality of homes that are out there? And what is it that you found that lenders and organizations have done to make those homes affordable? Because to Larry's point, I think affordability is just a quote unquote, like a catch-all phrase. But what I'm hoping we can do is show people that there are monies out here. There are grants, there are incentives that are real tangible dollars. So what type of things have you seen that you've helped your clients take advantage of from that standpoint?
There are so many. And I just want to give a good shout out to another realtor in Houston that let me take this class, Michelle Stark. So I have a book about this thick of nothing but grants for paying towards the price of a home and down payment and closing cost assistance. So you have HCLT, which is Harris County Land and Trust. You have HAP, which is the Houston Area Affordability Program. There's even a program if you want to buy new construction in some of these outlying neighborhoods. The same thing with the developers. They've gone to the new construction communities and they said, hey, we're going to buy this up, but we're going to resell it at this price point so everyone can afford to buy a home. I could sit here all day and go through it's at least 60 of them, honestly.
Wow.
Between Harris County and the city of Houston. And again, we're talking about the most I've seen people get. I'm going through the process now, so I'm not completely finished, but I have talked to others. The highest price point for the monies awarded was $150K. So if you have a house that's $285,000, right? That's pretty much where they kind of start these houses all across the city and the county, right? Brand new, like I said, with all the amenities, all the perks, all the bells and whistles, right? You have a house that's $285K. If somebody gives you $150K towards the price of the home, you do the math. So you're not paying the mortgage on $285. You're paying the mortgage on $135.
That's right.
And then to add to that effect, they're going to give you up to $23,500 towards your closing costs.
Wow.
So we all know your closing costs are anywhere between 1% to 3% of the price of the home.
Yeah.
So now you have a credit.
Yeah.
I have talked to people, and this is very factual. I have sat and talked with these people where one person came to the closing table with $76.
Yeah.
There are programs that will pay for your appraisal. Wow. And we all know appraisal $700, $800, $900. There are ways to buy a home. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get this information, because I'm not even going to lie. In my career, I've had to turn some people away because it sounded like a great idea, but life happens, right? So you have $10,000, $12,000 saved up. You might get some DPA, because we all know as long as you make under 99K, that was the standard. Under 99K, you could get some type of down payment assistance depending on the lending tool, right? Well, we get ready to close. We might be under contract. Financing went through, but now they don't have the money to close because something happened to their car and they had to spend $3,000, $4,000 fixing on the car, getting a new car, or something happened, right? So I've had to turn a handful of people away because we didn't have the money to close. And now I'm elated to say I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. I know we talked about the process just a little bit, but it's really simple. You just take a class, you make sure your credit is at least 620. There's still an opportunity for you to do it at 585, and depending on who the lender is, I think Landmark or US Trustmark will do a 580. There are even opportunities for you not to even do a hard pull. There are some lenders that I work with that'll do a soft pull just to see if you're ready. And then, of course, you eventually have to do the hard pull. But why do one hard pull if you're not sure if you're ready as far as your credit goes, right? So, yes, the opportunity is there. It's time out for us to say, oh, next year the interest rates are going to lower. Listen, we're all watching the same Federal Reserve. We're watching the news. We're watching CNN, the little news at the bottom scroll. We don't know when we have an idea, but we don't know an exact time when those interest rates are going to lower. But one thing you should always know, when you're ready, start there.
Yeah.
Let's outsource and see what resources are available for you to purchase a home. Now, I'm big, and that's one of the things that I pride myself on is professionalism, but sincerity. I'm not the realtor that's going to push you to buy a home if you're not ready. This is not just a finance thing. This is a mental. This is like might be one of the hardest things you ever have to endure in life, because this is a home that you have to pay money on. So I don't want to put you in a home for the commission, and I live high off the hog, and you're at home miserable because you're paying on a mortgage that you don't like or you can't afford. But if we have affordable housing, and like Larry said, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in the gentrified, I can't even talk today, areas. It doesn't mean that it's in the middle of South Park. Again, these are brand new homes all across the city, all across the county, and they look great. I'm interested in getting one. Okay. So yes, this is where we are.
Yes, indeed. Especially with the way that and then that's another thing, like the way they do an amazing job at allowing you to even stack some of these programs, right? So one may be an appraisal, one may be a grant towards the land. Like they do a great job at allowing you to stack a lot of the programs too. So definitely those are opportunities for everyone to be able to take advantage of. And I want them to make sure as we go through this chat, that we do give them your contact information, that they have ways of reaching you so that they're able to get more data as well as, become a client of yours too. So,
right. Okay.
I got to ask you guys the question because this is amazing. And Ms. Booker, could you give me your educated opinion on the disconnect between this worthwhile information, because $100,000 buyer incentive is something that's earth moving. It's game changing. What is the disconnect between the public and this type of information? Is it simply, are there not enough educated real estate professionals that are going out in the public talking about these programs? Are there too few networking events? Why is it that this $100,000 buyer windfall isn't something that's on every news station, that isn't popping up on everyone's Google ads? Why is it that no matter how often we interview people like yourself, this information just seems to be needed so much more to be disseminated out there to the masses? Where do you think that disconnect comes from?
I'm going to say it's a combination of everything that you just mentioned. And also, I hate to say this and I'm not being rude, it's a lot of information to read. It's lengthy. It is pages and pages, right? I got the short version, then I had to go do my homework. But if you go to the City of COH website right now and type in affordability, the whole page comes up and it tells you the process. And the one thing that I did love about this process is you have to have a realtor. They don't try to. The city of Houston will not see you, talk to you, receive any of your information without a realtor. But it's on the website, and that blew my mind because it's right there. It says City of Houston affordability, right? And then the other thing is, it is a lot of money in there, but they do tend to run out, but they get a lot of donations. So you might look today and it might say we're down to the last whatever, or we're out. In 2 weeks, I guarantee you that funnel has been refueled. So don't get discouraged on that. But I think it's a combination. I don't think we had enough realtors that knew. I want to say the realtors that did, a lot of them probably we're gatekeeping. We need to be talking about this. This is probably something that we need to go on Isaiah Factor and talk about. We need to go in the morning on that. I don't really watch morning shows, but I know we have one for Houston. But this is something that people need to know about, because again, I'm gonna go back to my other statement. The standard was, as long as you were like under 98, 97,000, 95,000, in that range, you couldn't be over 100K. DPA, which was down payment assistance, was available. But now this has changed the game. Again, let's do the math. 285, I give you 100. That's 185. That's what you're paying the mortgage on. Then I give you over 20,000 in down payment. Then there's an opportunity for you to get your appraisal done. There's also closing costs, down payment. It's something for the title fee. Like, each sector of the process of buying a home can be covered under a grant. And Larry is correct. They can be stacked. Now, there are a few that can't, but I think I'm going to make it my goal to touch as many people as I can, even if they don't use me as their realtor, because that's another thing I pride myself on. I want to be a resource. So my goal this year is to touch as many people as I can and give them the knowledge that they need. Now, once I give them the knowledge, I hope that they, use me or go to the well and drink. But yes, we need to be networking about this. And another goal of mine is to sit in on these meetings, on these bids, on these networking events that the city and the county have, to know what else is out there. Because I'm pretty sure there's more. But I will tell you, when you start getting in the skin and bones, it's a lot of information to read. Like, each one, some have a page, some have 30 pages, some have 7 pages, but it's a lot of information to read. So I think, like you said, it's just a combination of everything.
I appreciate your transparency, and I also appreciate you bringing up the great point about how to take advantage of these programs. The city of Houston requires that you're working with a licensed real estate professional. I think for like the last quarter of 2023 and maybe the 4 to 5 months before that, there's been a lot of talk in social media, in the online space, as far as the value of hiring a realtor as to represent you as a buyer. So for those that have always had to balance that question of what is it that realtors truly bring to the table from a value standpoint, I want this to serve as an example. There is $100,000 nest egg that you could take advantage of to make any home in the city of Houston that you would love to have affordable for you. Reach out to people like yourself, myself, Larry. Let's organize more networking events, more educational summits, because I think we all need to be yelling this information out from the highest peak, because there are so many people renting that are complaining about what their rent is. You know, we're almost at that part of the year where a lot of people's leases are going to come up for expiring, and they're going to have to make a decision on if they're going to renew or move. And I want to urge everyone right now that can hear our voices to take advantage of these opportunities, get involved. And what's so amazing about what you mentioned, Ms. Booker, is that you said that sometimes that nest egg of money can seem depleted. But all that does is show you that there are people taking advantage of getting that money.
Yes, sir.
So let's do our applications and get in line, because if they're handing out these type of grants, it's because those powers that be know that the home buying community needs these resources. So I want to thank you so much for what you do and spearheading the movement to get everyone in a new home that would love to own in the city of Houston. So thank you so much. I want to ask you this because Larry has seen you moving and shaking. You're part of committees. You're all over the city. For those in our audience who are aspiring real estate agents, who may have been recently licensed or who may be studying towards their license now, could you share a little bit about your entrepreneurial background with our audience? What did you do before real estate? What motivated you to make the change? And do you remember a specific instance or event that caused you to take the plunge?
Okay, so all my life, my elders were landlords. My great aunts, my great uncles, my grandfather, my grandmother, they were business owners where they owned cleaners, stores, things like that. And they were educators. They all were teachers or principals, right? But they always owned a group of homes. So they were landlords. And growing up, that's what you would see. You know, they're going to get the rent money. They're going to fix this and that, right? I started off in oil and gas straight out of high school. I started from the low. I was a receptionist and moved up to a purchaser and then a buyer, right? About 12 years ago, my division of oil and gas changed. So I went to go work in the refinery as safety. And now I'm a regional safety manager. But that event that changed the world was right before we started to quarantine. I had an incident at my job and I was laid off prematurely. And I had been going back and forth about getting my license, probably at that point, that was 2020, for about 3 to 5 years. Like I thought about it in 2015. I was like, okay, I'll get to it. But I'm a project-based manager, so I was always going on the road. I mean, I literally was on the road from 2013 till 2020, right? Well, when that premature laid off came, I said, you know what? I'm tired of someone dictating when I can go make the money, right? I always chose where I wanted to go, if I wanted to get paid what they were giving me, because I knew my value. But it was kind of like, because it's a seasonal thing and there may have been others before me, I was one of the top choices, but may have not been the first one, right? So when that premature laid off came, I said, I can't let someone dictate my money. I can't let someone dictate how I'm going to support my household, right? I got dreams and goals and aspirations just like the next person. So right before COVID, I signed up for Champions School of Real Estate, and I started going to class because in my mind, everyone is a different learner. I could have done it online, but I might suffer from ADHD a little bit. So being at home at school probably wouldn't have worked. So I started in class.
I'm like you. I need that classroom action a little bit.
I need you to be like, hey, focus, right? Right. So then quarantine hit. So I had to take my last 2 or 3 classes at home, and I made it. And I will tell anybody who's studying for the test, take that practice exam and the study they give you, the little class you go to for 2-3 days to study, take that twice. I was able to pass my exam on the first try. And that was a pivotal moment in my life because it's not easy. I want to break away from what you asked and say, I know that social media will have you thinking people just wake up and everything just comes to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if they pray and manifest it, it's going to come. Well, you can do those things, but not only do you have to do those things, you have to believe it and you have to put in the work. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to also say this. The day I passed my test, I text like 60 people that I knew and people in my phone, people I had, come across. And I was like, hey, I'm a realtor now. Let's do it. And in my mind, I was like, okay, these 60 people, I'm about to get some deals. No, not at all. I had 2 people waiting on me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a family member that was like, oh, okay, I want to sell my home and buy one. And then it was work. It was trial and error too, and on the job training. Okay. And also, I know, like we talked about, there's some talk about what does a realtor do? What value do they have? Why do we get these commissions that we get? I want to briefly just touch on that and then we'll go back. My day can start at 5 a.m. And thankfully I don't have any kids. So it's sometimes I'm out till midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're my client and you say, oh, I don't get off of work till 8, that's fine. Let's meet at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And we're out from 8:30 to 11 looking at, as long as my super will let me in or I got the combo, we're going. Okay. So that's that. I know a lot of people have balance and I still have balance because I know some days I don't get up and do anything. I work from home. I do all my paperwork at home on that day, right? But also, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going to negotiate for you, whether it's just a lease. And leases are important because you need a place to stay. That's right. And right now, to rent a home or lease a home, a townhome, a condo, and sometimes an apartment, they want you to have the qualifications like you were buying a home. They want you to have the 620, 640 credit score. They want to see 3, sometimes 5 times the monthly rent and income. They want to see that you've been on a job 2 years, that you have rent, so I'm fighting for you, even if it's a lease. And especially if you're buying a home, because I need that home perfect. So I'm at the inspection. I'm meeting the appraiser. If the seller has to fix things, I might come out of pocket. I just closed on a house earlier this year, right before the summer. And my clients love this home. They were relocating. And the listing agent was like, look, the seller isn't giving anything else. I said, all right, I'll get the housekeeper to come by. Can you split this cost with me? I got the yard cut. So I spent, before I even got a commission check, almost $1,000 just making sure that things were done so the deal could go through, because my clients really wanted this home. And also I got them $20,000 off of the listing price. And the seller gave us 5. So I really got them 25, but that's neither here nor there. So if you have the right realtor, the value is, you'll see it. The value is there. They're going to fight for you. And I'm here with you. Now, I might not talk to you every day of the week, but I'm going to drop gifts off for you during the year. I'm going to check on you. I'm going to make sure that you remember, hey, it's time to put in for that homestead. Or, hey, the interest rates dropped. Try to see if you can refinance. I know when we closed, you were at like an 8%. Now they're at 6%. See if that does you any justice. When it's time for you to resell, because most people don't live in their homes 15 years. The average home buyer lives in their home 3 to 7 years. That's right. If your lease is coming up about 3 months out, hey, do you think you're going to renew? You want something bigger? You want to downsize? So the value in a realtor is there. Now, everybody is not like me, but there are some really great realtors. It's even in Houston, right? So the value is there. But yeah, that was my story real quick. I decided that I was going to work for myself. I still backslide in the industry a little bit and go do a project here or there, because that was my first love, is oil and gas. But I'm excited to meet people like you, because you motivate me to be full-time. I still kind of consider myself as a full-time agent, but I probably don't do as much as a full-time, right? But that's my goal this year, is to really step all into it. And if you're listening right now, you're considering being a realtor, if that's truly what you want to do, go for it. Don't let anybody tell you, yes, we have over 35,000 licensed agents in Houston. I don't know how many are active, but that's what, when we get on Trek, that's what it says. But I just want to leave you guys with this. It's like going down the bread aisle. How many vendors for bread do we see? Not each one are the same. So what you bring to the table, what you bring to your client might not be with whoever Amanda Smith brings to their clients, right? So go for it. Don't, if that's what, and yes, again, it's hard. You got to be diligent and you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent.
Yep.
You doesn't mean you have to. I know I need a stronger social media presence, but social media is really just not my thing. I'm more of a face-to-face brick and mortar. But when you find your niche, go for it. Go full steam ahead. What do they say? All gas, no brakes. And that's literally no brakes and BREAKS, because you can't stop. You can't. Don't be a secret agent. I'm guilty of that and I'm working on it. So
stay consistent. That consistency is everything. You're right.
No, I want to thank you so much because you've been so transparent, not only about your career, but you've also been so informative as far as the foundation of your real estate practice and how you like to serve the real estate and home buying community. So first thing, and finally, could you share with our audience your contact info, your social media handle, your website, because I want everyone in the Prime Real Estate Network audience to tap in and be able to gain from your education throughout 2024.
Okay, first things first, I'm always available via text. So my phone number is 832-412-5463. You can text, you can call. That's your first point of contact. If you're social media, then yes, I am on Instagram. My IG is Maia, MAIA, B as in boy, Realty, REALTY 20. That's also my email with Gmail at the end. And then Maia Booker on Facebook, or Maia Booker the Realtor on Facebook.
I want to thank you so much, man. I appreciate you because, like I said before, Larry and I always joke about how for those in the real estate profession, Thursday can be like our Friday. Because Fridays is when we either got to make moves, have speaking engagements, or plan trips. So thank you so much for carving some time out of your Thursday with us. And also keep Larry and I in mind any networking events that you may have going this year, any speaking engagements. We would both love to sit in with you, be able to share ideas and be around like-minded professionals. So Queen, we appreciate you so much. We thank you so much for your time. And anytime you would like to share any information with our audience, we're always here for you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon.
No doubt.
You too.
All right, thank you, Book.
Bye.
And there it is, brother.
Hey, start of the season, baby. Start of the season.
No, I hope that everyone who has an opportunity to hear her interview can understand the opportunities there are out there for those who want to invest in themselves, invest in their first home, and most importantly, invest in the state of Texas. Because this year, Larry, the foundation for what we're going to be educating on is how everyone can invest in Texas. The state of Texas, the city of Houston, Harris County is so thriving. It's still growing. There's so much value in this area that I think we would be doing everyone a disservice if we didn't make sure we let everyone know about every opportunity that's out there for them to own a piece of the state of Texas, man.
I agree. Can't go wrong with it, man. No doubt. Texas is where it's at. Now,
man, every episode, around this time, we always are very curious as far as what's going on in the life of the Texas Real Estate King leading into the weekend. So is there anything, any engagements, any events that the Texas Real Estate King would like to share with the audience, man? And for those who've never had the opportunity to meet, greet, and interact with you personally, will there be any opportunities for that this coming week?
Man, that is a great question. And here's what I'm going to tell the audience out there. J5 is coming. Tomorrow is J5. I will be out here in these H-Town streets. So ain't no telling which corner you might find me on, but just understand that it's J5, and them boys and that Crimson and Cream are going to be taking over a city, a restaurant, a bar, an occupational spot somewhere near you. J5 is here, baby.
Hey, man, look, big, huge shout out to all the esteemed brothers of Cap Alpha Fraternity Incorporated that's going to be celebrating J5. So if you are in the area and you are within earshot of one of these social gatherings.
Hey.
The Texas Real Estate King invites you to stop in, say hello, and celebrate January the 5th with all those other esteemed brothers that's going to be out.
Shout out to the Platinum Brothers of Music, doing it big, definitely coming to the city. So, you know what I mean? If you Music, you know, make sure you tap in, man. There's going to be going down this whole weekend. We're going to have some Phi Nu Pie time.
Absolutely, man. Look, I thank you so much for sitting in, man. I appreciate you sharing all the information. Most importantly, I appreciate you for getting Miss Booker to sit in with us, man.
Yes,
and as always, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, and myself would like to wish everyone in the audience a safe weekend. And until next Thursday around this same time, everyone in the audience, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.